You ladies ready? No, you're good. Perfect. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing. It is August 7th already. It is by Verizon's time, 9:03. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate for this morning's hearing. First thing I'm going to do is swear in anybody who's here to testify on any items on today's agenda. So if you're here for a code enforcement case and you're going to speak on an agenda item, if you could stand and raise your right hands for me. Stand if you're able, of course. And I'll swear in all city staff as well. Are you all here for code enforcement? If stand up and raise your right hands for me. I'll wait for the remaining code officers to come in. All right, everybody raise your right hands. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you very much. A little bit about process. When you hear your case called, you're going to come to the podium down here on my right side. The city staff is going to be at the podium on my left. The city will go first. They will present any evidence, any testimony they have, call any witnesses they have. Once the city has concluded its case, it will be your turn to speak. You'll be able to present any evidence you have to me, show me any photographs, any documents you'd like me to see, cross-examine any witnesses that the city puts on, and at the end of that, I'll make a final ruling. So just keep in mind that all of your testimony here this morning is given under oath. And with that, I'll turn it to the city to call its first case.
Case number 12, CE 24052051, case address 821 44th Street.
Good morning. I am KT Weaver, Code Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While investigating a complaint in the area, I observed several violations at 821 44th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations. The property was cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary, 18103B, rotten wood, roof exterior, 18106G, paint structure, 34-102A, inoperative junk vehicles, 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, which has been complied, 94-302-A-4, fence repair or replace, 94-482-A, parking requirements, which has been complied, 94-442-C-1, landscape grass needed in bare areas, 94-446-2-B, trim trees on the property, 94-446-2-C-3, tree abuse tree stump, which has been complied, 94-71-C, outdoor storage. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 2nd of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July 2nd of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on June the 1st of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 18106A, 18103B, 18106G, 34-102-A, 94-302-A-4, 94-442-C-1, 94-446-2-B, and 9471-C. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th and on the 6th, showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved. Good morning. I do. I talked with him, and the last person I spoke with was a gentleman that he had to call me, and they have been working. The property owner has been working on the property. The things that need to be done can be done. It just depends on, you know, I guess if he does them or has someone to do them.
Okay, thank you so much. At this time, Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence as the record, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your names for the record?
No.
No problem. Sylvain Cadet.
Okay, your name?
Schubert Bastian.
Okay. So he's the property owner?
Yes, he's probably.
Okay. And what's your relation?
I'm his son friend.
Okay, very good.
At least I'm a contractor, so.
You're what? I'm sorry?
Contractor.
Contractor as
Building
well.
contractor.
Okay. So you've heard what the city is saying. It sounds like there's been progress made, but there's still some sections of the code that remain in violation, and the city is asking me to give you 60 days to get those items remedied. What's the update on where you are with getting into compliance?
Right now, I've just been helping him out and just trying to fix whatever he possibly can't fix. Or he
Okay.
hired me as of recently, so.
Excuse me?
He hired me as of recently.
Okay. Do you think you can get the remaining items done in those 60 days?
She went through it pretty fast. I can't remember which one was which, but if I get a list of it, yes.
I'll go over them with you again if you need me to.
I guess the only one, let me ask the code officer, 18103B, is that something that has to be permitted? Is the,
The 103B is, if you go down to the front of the property, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture for you. Yes, these are the reinspection, but the front, like at the bottom of the garage, it's just some areas where there's rotten wood. They did the top, the fascia, all of that was done.
okay.
Just at the bottom, there's a little more patching and fixing in the bottom, like, yeah, now we're getting closer there, and then a little further by the garage, there's some little,
And so it's like that water
little
out there.
areas, right. It's something that can be repaired with a couple of little boards and strips, but
Okay,
that's
so no-
the remaining of that.
Okay, that's the only one I was.
Oh, no,
worried.
I'm sorry. That is not the remaining of that. There's another picture, if you keep going on the side, because they painted the front, but then if you keep going down as we get on the right side of the house, it stopped, as well as the fence. There are multiple, there's several colors and things. And then you'll see boards and some pieces up on the side, no, on the side of the house, if you keep going through the pictures. Yeah, there we go. In that area up at the top, and then also the fence with we got 3 different colors for the fence. But those are things that can, be worked on if they address it,
And
not-
does any of that have to get permitted or no?
If the fence really needs to be replaced,
Is it this fence or the other
it's the
side?
wooden fence, which like we talked about on the
See
phone. It's
right
the
here?
wooden fence, down that whole line, because that fence was almost in the neighbor's yard. It was bending over in the neighbor's yard.
This fence right here, or the one that was just on the screen?
Yes, on the right side. They tried to shore it up some. It has been shored up some, but the quality is not that good because the fence is old. And even some areas in the front, it's like, it's a patch job. But if they can shore it up to enough to where it is not leaning and it is significant, because the main thing is if we get a hurricane, that fence is gonna go everywhere. So that's the only issue that I'm concerned about, making sure that it's shored up so that if a hurricane, a strong wind comes through, it's not blowing into other people's property or damaging their property.
Okay. And what's the extent of the tree trimming that's left to be done?
I'm sorry?
What's the extent of the tree trimming that's left to be done?
On the left side of the property, towards the rear, the tree back there, it's touching the property, so that needs to be trimmed back. They did some trimming in the front, but in the back of the property, it needs to be trimmed, so no tree should be touching the property in any area of the house. So that needs to be trimmed in the back.
Okay.
If you keep going, it's gonna be on the left side. That's the right side. Okay, and this is part of the left side. That's part of some of the outdoor storage and how some of that is leaning on the left side. Keep going, that's in the back. I should have some pictures from the tree. Okay, there we go. See how your tree is touching? None of that should be touching the structure at all. So it needs to be trimmed back there, cut back so that it's not on the structure.
Okay.
Now, would that fence in the front to the left side, would that be an issue?
Only the part that's yours,
Okay.
that's on his property.
Because I was gonna say
that
it's kind
he's-
of collapsing into the property from the other property.
Right, but if that's the case, if it's gonna make where his is, it's like that, either he will remove it or he needs another fence because it's leaning to. The other property next door is being dealt with, but right now we just gotta make sure his is shored up, as much as possible to,
I guess, I was gonna say, just the soil on that side is kind of like,
but that's the
Collapse,
thing,
I
that's
got you.
where, that, and it's
So
been
can I cut
years
it
since that
down
fence
and-
has been there. I'm sorry?
if it's leaning to property, is it fine to cut down or?
Oh, it can come down, and it can come down without a permit. But if you're going to keep it or replace it, a permit will be needed if you're going to repair more than 6 feet.
Because that metal fence is his, but that wooden fence on the backside isn't, so.
The wooden fence isn't his, is what you're saying? Okay, but the metal would have to be, shored up too, but I can come out and we can address it more. But, as of now, that's not sufficient.
All right.
If I could I see the posting documents? Thank you.
Okay, I do. I do.
Perfect, thank you. All right, let me ask you, sir, any objection to the documents that you've been seeing on the screen being entered into the record?
No.
Okay. Do you think you can get all this done in 60 days?
Hope so, but yes.
Okay. That seems like more than enough time, and it seems like you've done quite a bit already, but there is still some work to do. So I just want to make sure you feel like you can get that done in that amount of time. Okay, anything else you'd like me to hear?
No.
Okay, anything else from the city?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 2405-2051, I'll enter this city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mail as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 944462B, 18103B, 34102A, 18106A, 94302A4, 9471C, 94442C1, and 18106G. And I'll require a respondent to comply within 60 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed. So keep in touch with the code enforcement officer. As soon as you have everything complied, make sure you call her to come out and do an inspection to get you an affidavit of compliance so that no fine starts running, okay?
All right, will do.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 15, CE 24052062, case address 1117 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. Okay. Then I have case number 7, CE 24062111, case address 825 29th Street.
Hey, good morning. My name is Donald Lattimore, currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. While on patrol, I saw a prohibited vehicle and inoperable vehicle parked at the property located at 825 29th Street. The property is occupied. I initiated my investigation at the property on June 5th of 2024. There I observed the following violations: 34-102A, 94-487-A, 94-71-C. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner in which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on June 10th of 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on June 11th of 2024. I completed an affidavit of posting on June 11th of 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisit the property on August 1st and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 94-487-A-8, which is the prohibited vehicle, 94-71-C, outdoor storage. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisit the property, the following photographs show that all violations, the following photographs show that the violations still exist on the property. These photos accurately and truthfully represent the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is present, and I made contact with him via phone on August 5th. The owner and I discussed the remaining violations, how to comply them, today's hearing, and additional time needed to comply the remaining violations. I informed the property owner that the city will be asking for 30 days to comply the remaining code violation, in particular the prohibited vehicle. But the property owner expressed that he may need additional time, 45 days, but also wanted to state his half of why the prohibited vehicle is there. So with that being said, the city is asking for 30 days to comply all code violations. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100 per day.
Okay, great, thank you. Special Magistrate would request the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs that truthfully and accurately depict the violations, as well as the case file be admitted into evidence, barring any objections, please.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Good morning. My name is Jerry Robertson.
Thank you. So you've heard what the city is saying. It looks like you've got a couple of items to be addressed on the property, but go ahead and tell me what's going on with the vehicle.
The vehicle is what I really wanted to address today. It's a business vehicle, and I done had it on my property since 2012. And I never had an issue with this vehicle. And when I spoke with Donald, he was kind of explaining to me that it was a commercial vehicle and it can't be on my property. Mm-hmm. And I was really trying to understand why I done had this vehicle on my property since 2012. Now it's 2024, now it's an issue. I would like to keep my vehicle on my property while I pay property taxes, ma'am. And I've been trying to figure out why I have to remove my vehicle from my driveway. It's biked in, it's in my driveway, no problem. The vehicle runs, it's in good condition. So I was just trying to understand the reason why I got to remove it. And that's the reason why I'm here, and I really want to get a good explanation on why I need to remove my vehicle from my property.
Okay. And do you understand the other component of the violations? Do you understand what's going on with the outdoor storage?
Yes, he explained it to me in detail. I didn't really understood what that meant, like outdoor storage. He really explained it to me in detail. And I
okay,
will
so you know what
comply.
you need to do to get into compliance with that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask the code officer, the junk and abandoned vehicles, that's the same vehicle we're talking about? Is that correct?
No, in the initial photo, there was a gray van with a flat tire, and that van has been removed. The next is the prohibited vehicle, which is the commercial vehicle. Just to give you a little background on this particular situation, I started receiving some complaints along 29th Street in general about prohibited vehicles, in particular trailers that were parked along 29th Street. And I also explained that to Mr. Jerry as well. So once I arrived on 29th Street, you see one, you have to cite all, and it's a cluster of prohibited vehicles. So I went ahead and I cited everyone for prohibited vehicles, whether it's a trailer or inoperable vehicle. Just made sure that I really did not focus on one particular property, but all of the properties along the street to be fair across the board. I explained to Mr. Jerry the reason why I was citing him for the prohibited vehicle, but he just still wanted a little more clarification as to why it has to be pretty much removed, especially after the length of time that it's been sitting there on his property.
All right, so now I see the photo. The minivan is what had the flat tire, not the commercial vehicle. And so that section's been complied, right? 34102A?
That is correct. We only have two codes that have not been complied, which is the prohibited vehicle and the outdoor storage. In particular with the outdoor storage, it's the tables that are still in the front yard. They are not outdoor tables, they're more indoor type tables, which I explained to Mr. Jerry, and he reassured me that he will take care of that.
Okay. I guess a little background on the city code. So this, obviously, it's marked as a commercial vehicle, commercial van. Is that a new code or is that an old code?
To my knowledge, it is the old code.
Okay.
To my knowledge, and it's particularly the advertisement that's on the van itself in the residential neighborhood is advertising business, and it has been altered from its original standards to make it commercial now, more of a commercial vehicle, and that is prohibited in the zoning area with the commercial vehicle.
Okay. Because of the markings and the signage that's on the van, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Robertson, does that make sense? Do you understand what makes it a commercial vehicle? All of the signage, all of the graphics that are on the van is what it ultimately becomes a moving advertisement for the business. Do you understand that?
Well, my understanding is when I got business license to register this business in the city of West Palm Beach, also the county of West Palm Beach, I was on, I gave them my address, and everything was okay. It done been there 12 years, ma'am. So now this is 12 years later, and all of a sudden I got a problem with this particular vehicle.
Right, and what the code enforcement officer explained is that this I guess came from a complaint about these types of vehicles on the street that you're on. So it's not just you. It apparently was you and several of your neighbors as well. But regardless, the code is what the code is. If the code says that this is a prohibited vehicle, you can't have it in your yard. Why you're getting enforced now in terms of not in 2012, I can't speak to that. All I can tell you is that perhaps you got away with it for 12 years. But the city is telling me that the code is not a new code, so you shouldn't actually have been parking it there for all of that time, but it's now that you're before me with this code case. So you're going to need to either have the graphics removed and just turn it back into a normal van, or move it from your property so that you get into compliance with the city's code. My job here today is just to enforce the city's code that's on the books. If the code says, which I'm looking at it on this sheet of paper, that commercial trucks cannot be parked there, there's nothing else I can do other than tell you that you either have to take the graphics off of it and make it a white van, or remove it from the property and park it somewhere else.
Well, I haven't seen this city code that y'all discussing here today. If I can review the city code to be able to have a clear understanding on exactly what it say, word for word, so I can be more assured that I am in violation. Because right now, my understanding is I'm not in violation. It's been there, and he's saying that there been trailers and new people that moved on 29th Street. I've been living on 29th Street since 2009.
Okay.
And everything been okay. So if it's some new neighbors came in, or even old neighbors got trailers and all this type of stuff going on, it's almost like now I done got targeted due to other people violations. But with the city code, ma'am, I do understand what he's saying about that, but I would like to have my own clear understanding on the city code.
So the notice, let me ask the city staff to pull up the notice of violation, but the notice of violation that you received would have had the code section listed on it, correct, code officer?
Yes, that is correct. It was posted to the property as well as sent certified mail. But I don't mind providing you with a copy of the code, and you and I can discuss the code in detail as well. But it was serviced. That is the first one, the prohibited vehicle. The code is behind you.
So you see on the screen, sir?
You can see it up there, too.
That's the notice of violation that was left at your property and was also mailed to you. But it says right there that commercial trucks are prohibited vehicles.
Okay.
So at the beginning of the code officer's testimony, he indicated that you thought you needed a little bit more time to comply. Is that right? Did you ask him for 45 days to comply,
Yes,
to find an alternate place to park the vehicle?
yes,
Okay, I'm certainly happy to give you that time, because I understand you've had the vehicle for quite some time. So I'll give you the requested amount of time, but you are gonna either have to revert it back to just a van or move it from the property, okay? Do you understand that?
yes,
Okay, perfect. And you understand you need to remove the tables from the front yard?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Anything further from the city?
Yes, in addition, the city would actually follow up with zoning as well, just to confirm, and I will speak with you just to confirm. My supervisor would like for me to follow up with zoning as well.
Just for some clarity on the zoning issue, Mr. Robertson, it is?
Yes,
Are you saying that your business, where it currently is separate and apart from your residential property, correct?
yes,
And you're saying your business where it's correctly zoned in a commercial property, correct?
yeah, cause it's a mobile business, and, my business license saying that I can't do business from my address, basically, so I can't do business at my address.
Okay,
But my commercial vehicle was allowed to be parked at my property as long as I don't do business at my home. That's my understanding of the zoning and my understanding of my business license.
so your business, just for the record, it's mobile, there is no other structure or property, home, a place that you conduct your business other than from the van, correct?
Yes,
Okay. We just wanted some clarity when we were discussing, but I think that's the issue.
Yeah. Which I will follow up. So if it pleases the magistrate, judge, special magistrate, I would like to move forward with 45 days. That'll allow us a significant time to speak with zoning to get a better clarification on this commercial vehicle. And if it is deemed that it is a commercial vehicle in an area that it's zoning area that is not supposed to be, 45 days to remove it. And if it can stay, are you willing to like just cover it or with a cover, or if it's allowed to stay, then it can stay. And I'll follow up with the attorney as well.
my preference would be for it to be able to stay, but if I had to compromise and cover it up, I will take that option, so.
How would the city feel about just resetting this for the next month's hearing? My concern is that if zoning is gonna say that it's allowed, I'm concerned that I shouldn't make a finding of violation if that's in fact the case. So if we don't have, is there any way to get somebody from zoning?
The city is fine with resetting it, special
Okay.
magistrate.
So what I'm gonna do, sir, is because there is some additional follow-up required with the zoning department, I'm gonna reset this for the next hearing. Let me ask the city for the next date, the September.
And if it's resolved, special magistrate will take it off.
September 6th, is that what you said?
Looks like it's September 4th,
September 4, okay.
yes. And then the next one's the 18th.
Okay. Did you have a question about the,
No, I was just speaking to
Okay.
the supervisor, sorry.
all right, so sir, make sure that the code enforcement officer has your contact information. You already have that, sir, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
keep it in contact with me.
So what I'm gonna do is, because it sounds like there could be additional clarification that comes from zoning, I'm not gonna make a finding today on your case. I'm gonna reset your case for the September 4th hearing. My hope is that you can get with the city staff and they can get with the zoning department and figure out if in fact, the fact that you're operating a mobile business, if that changes, whether it's allowed to be there and continue to be there or not. So make sure you hear from city staff between now and September 4th so that you know whether or not you need to come back for that next hearing, okay?
Okay,
All right, so in case 2406, CE 2406-2111, I'm not going to enter the evidentiary case file because I'm not going to make a formal finding. I'm just going to reset this matter after finding, but based on the certified mail having been signed and also the affidavit of posting that's in the file, that their city had good service for today's hearing. So with that good service, I'm going to reset this for violation hearing on September 4th at 9 a.m., okay? So get in touch with the city code officer as soon as you can. They'll talk with their zoning department and let you know what the outcome is, okay?
okay,
Thank you, sir.
all right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Case number 20, CE 24062165, case address 1462 8th Street. Okay, case number 20, CE 24062183, case address 1436 7th Street.
Case number 20?
23.
Okay,
We have a Janelle? No. Okay, I have like 4 other people signed in. Can I confirm which one?
What is your address?
4112 Temple Street, excuse me,
Okay. I have 811 31st Street and 800 44th Street and 712 4th Street. I'm sorry? What was? Okay. Okay, so, all right, so that's case number 8, CE 24062168, case address 811 31st Street.
Hey, good morning again. I'm Donald Lattimore. I'm currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. While on routine patrol, I saw outdoor storage at the property located at 811 31st Street. This property is vacant, I believe. I initiated my investigation at the property on June 14th, 2024. There I observed the following violations: 18106A, clean and sanitary; 18-106-G, painting the structure; 18-106-K, landscape maintenance; 74-34-A-1-H, which is the trash can in public view; 78-6-5, address characters; 94-71-C, outdoor storage. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on June 18th of 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on June 18th of 2024. I completed an affidavit of posting on June 18th of 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 5th and observed the property not to be in compliance with code section 18-106-K, landscape maintenance. Specifically, the landscape needs to be seeded and or sod, needs to be laid down. I took photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photographs show the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully represent the violations I observed during my investigations. The property owners are present, and I made contact with a representative, which was the daughter of the property owners, while posting the notice of violations at the property on June 18th of 2024. The representative and I discussed all code violations, how to comply them, today's hearing, and how to contact me directly. I also informed the representatives to have the owners contact me directly with any questions or if additional time is needed to comply to violations. So I was made aware this morning what slowed down the process of complying the landscape maintenance code. The owners provided me with a receipt of the sod. They were particularly looking for a certain type of sod for their front yard. I have receipt for the sod. They're asking for an additional 45 days to make sure that they get the sod in a reasonable time and lay it down. With that being said, the city is asking for 45 days to comply to remaining code violation. If no compliance, a fine, daily fine of $50 per day.
Thank you. So they're still non-compliant, even though we've received the receipt with sod purchase?
Yes, they just need time to pick the sod
Okay.
up, for the sod to come in, the amount that they need to pick it up, and then to also lay it down. So that's what we're waiting on now, and they have all documentation to show that they have the receipt for the sod. They have already purchased the sod.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the case filed along with the photographs and the code enforcement officer's testimony be admitted into evidence barring any objections.
Thank you. And just so I'm clear, all of the code sections listed remain out of compliance. Is that correct?
All of the code sections are complied except
Except-
18-106-K. Sorry
Okay,
about
very
that.
good.
I think I said it backwards.
Get the receipt,
All right, so the only thing they need to do is get the sod and plant the sod so that they get into compliance with 18106K. Okay, good morning. Your names?
Norman and Vanita Bonner.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you've heard what the city is saying. They're saying that you had a couple of code enforcement issues. You've complied everything except for the sod. You've given him the
Understood
receipt
that.
showing that you're getting ready to fix it. You asked for the 45 days, is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, you can get it done within that time?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you, the documents that you've seen on the screen, do you have any objection to those documents being entered? The notice documents for today's hearing, the photographs? Any objection to those photos and documents being entered into the record?
No, everything's fine.
Okay.
We've been working on it, so.
Okay. And just keep in mind, when you get the sod and you get it laid down, make sure you call him straight away so that he can come back and do an inspection and close out your case and comply you out, okay?
Okay.
Anything else you'd like me to hear this morning?
No.
Nah.
Okay. And with that, in case anything further from the city?
Nothing else from the city. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 2406-2168, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the respondents and the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 18106K. And I'll require respondents to comply with that section within 45 days or a $50 a day fine will be assessed. So best of luck getting the sod down. It sounds like you're going to do it in plenty of time, but make sure you call him as soon as it's down, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So that concludes the contested cases. Case number 1, CE 2406-2137, case address 5907 59th Street, or sorry, 59th Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On June 12th, the property at 5907 59th Way, I was conducting a rental inspection and discovered violations on the property. Remodel to the master bath, shower without permit. I cited the property for 22-441 rental license violation. Uh, 22-32-A certificate of use. 105.1 work done without permit, and 18-103C repair needed to ceiling. I've been in contact with the property owner. The property was posted as well as City Hall on July 29th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent June 13th. Certified mail was returned August 3rd. I had a conversation with the property owner at the time of posting, so it was also posted and hand-delivered. The permit has since been applied for. It was applied for on July 19th, so it's still working through the process. So with that being said, city's recommending 90 days to obtain the permit and bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, great, thank you. And you believe 90 days, given that the permit was applied for on, a few weeks ago, is reasonable time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I didn't see the photograph. Did we look at the photograph? the photographs that are shown today truthfully and accurately depict what you observe the violations to be?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you spoke with the property owner, correct? And they're in agreement?
Several times. They've been in great contact with me.
And they're in agreement with the 90 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence as the record.
Thank you. And just so I am clear, all the code sections remain outstanding, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they still need to get a certificate of use and a business tax as well within those 90 days?
Correct, because they can't obtain it until they pass the inspection.
Okay, perfect.
And with the work being done on the property, it's not going to pass the inspection.
Okay, perfect. All right, anything further?
That's it.
Okay. In case CE 2406-2137, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the hand delivery affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 105.1, 2232A, 18103C, and 22441, and I'll require respondents to comply within 90 days or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 2, CE 24062079, case address 3217 Broadway.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. At the property 3217 Broadway, I discovered complaints on May 30th, 2024. The violations discovered were ranging from a broken chain link fence in the rear, broken window, missing sod in the swell, trash and debris, and the remaining violation 18-105-J, which paint the exterior, since they have mildew and peeling paint that needs to be painted over. The property was cited on June 7, 2024. Certified irregular mail was sent on June 10, 2024. It was signed for. Notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July 2nd, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I did have contact with the property owner. We came in agreement that 30 days would be sufficient in order to paint the property. So as of yesterday, the only violation on the property is 18105J. The city is asking for 30 days or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And the photographs truthfully and accurately depict the violation that's currently present?
Yes.
And you stated the property the property owner is in agreement with the 30 days.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs be admitted into evidence as the record.
Thank you. Case CE 2406-2079, for the record, the respondent is not present. Okay. Can I see that affidavit of posting real quick? Okay, perfect. All right, with that, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mail as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 18105J. And I'll require compliance within 30 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 3, CE 24051976, case address 362 Potter Road.
Good morning, Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. On 5/14/2024, the property located at 362 Potter Road was cited for not having a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in business in violation of City Codes 22-2 22-441, 22-32-E, and 82-151. A notice of violation was issued to the property owner, which was sent via regular and certified mail, which were returned. The certified mail was returned. The property on City Hall was initially posted on June 7, 2024, and subsequently reposted on July 18, 2024. And they are both in the case file. The property owner did apply for a rental license, which was processed on June 11, 2024. And on July 18th and 31, respectively, I sent emails to the property owner without response. I know that those emails were in regards to inspections. The property owner never responded. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day thereafter if compliance is not achieved.
All right. So they applied, but they haven't communicated with you and you haven't done the inspection, so nothing's been issued. Is that correct?
Without the inspection, without a successful inspection, a rental license cannot be issued.
Can't be issued, okay. Okay, anything further from the city?
No, Special Magistrate.
Okay.
We're requesting that the case file, the testimony of the code enforcement officers, be admitted into evidence as the record.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 2405-1976, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter this city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting and the signed certified mail that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the evidentiary case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-151, 2232A, and 22441. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Case number 4, CE 24041773, case address 526 Palmetto Street.
Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. On April 10, 2024, the property located at 526 Palmetto Street was cited for failure to have a rental license, certificate of use, and engaging in business in violation of City's Codes 22-441, 22-32-A, and 82-151. A notice of violation was issued to the property owner, which was sent via regular and certified mail. Certified mail was returned. The property and City Hall was initially posted again on June 7 and subsequently reposted on July 18, 2024, and they are part of the case file. The property owner applied for a rental license, which was processed on May 9, 2024. However, on May 24, 2024, the property failed inspection for interior modification, to which they did apply for a permit, and for some reason or the other, the contractor's credential had expired, so they were not able to get the building department to come in and do the inspection. The building department did issue a violation subsequently, case number CEBLD 24050579 for the remodeling violation.
Do we know when they applied for the permit?
This permit goes back to 2022. But
Okay.
again, with the contractor's credential being expired, they couldn't go forward with the inspection. So what the property owner is in the process of obtaining a new contractor, finding a new contractor to get this all squared away.
Okay.
So with that being said, the city is requesting 6 months for this process to come into compliance, or $200 a day thereafter if compliance is not achieved.
6 months and $200 a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further from the city. We're requesting that the testimony of the code enforcement officer and the case file be admitted into evidence as to the record.
Could we just pull up the building case just to enter it into record to show?
Sure. It's attached to our case file?
Actually, she could pull it up in the EPL from EPL. It would be CEB LD 24050579.
These pictures were taken in an inspection?
The ones that are attached to my, yes, these are the pictures that I took during the inspection.
Okay,
And sent it over to the building department for their
Okay.
case too.
got you. Thank you.
You're
But they were taken by you?
Yes.
And the connection with the building department issue is that you can't close out their rental license until the permit matter is complied, is that?
The rental license cannot be issued until the building department goes in and do the electrical, plumbing inspection and states they're satisfied with it, because we have people,
Living there, yeah.
staying
okay.
there, and God forbid something happens.
Okay, so that's why you're giving them additional time to get the building department
ma'am.
matter resolved, okay. Anything further?
No special.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 24041773, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff and the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of sections 2232A, 82151, and 22441. I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 6 months, or $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 5, CE 24072307, case address 816 13th Street.
Hello, good morning again. I'm Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I saw trash and debris on a vacant lot. The vacant lot property was later identified as 816 13th Street. I initiated my investigation at the property on July 17th of 2024. There, I observed the following violations: 18-106-A, which is the trash and debris; 74-4-C-5 to clean up the property. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on July 19, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on July 23rd of 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 23rd, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on July 24th, 2024, I revisited the property on August 5th of 2024 and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following violation sections: 18-106-A, trash and debris; 74-4-C-5, clean up the property. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photographs show the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully represent the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner, but I have been in contact with the property manager via email and phone. I sent the email to the property manager on August 6, 2024, explaining how to comply the current violations, today's hearing, and additional time that will be requested to comply all violations. The property manager responded back to me. He's aware of what he needs to fix and take care of, and did inform me that 30 days will be enough time for him to pick up the remaining trash and debris. And so the city is asking for 30 days to comply all code violations. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100 per day.
Okay, great. Did they, and I saw the photographs real quickly. Are it seems to be a lot of debris. Is there a hazard or something, immediate hazard that the city would need to abate and do something about at this time, or no?
No immediate hazard. He just left down, there's remaining small amount of trash that was not collected. I also discussed with the property manager that the grass is now getting high, so he's going to go ahead and cut the grass as well. And there's dead vegetation. In this case, there's excessive leaves that were left behind from the pile of limbs that were left. So he's going to rake and clean all of that up, and 30 days will be enough time to do that.
Okay, maybe the photographs I saw were the initial, because it seemed like there were a lot. Okay, yes, right. Thank you. Nothing further. We're requesting the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs be admitted into evidence, barring objections.
Thank you. It looks like they did quite a lot, and they put up a fence, right, to try to stop it?
They did do quite a lot, very prompt response, and I did inform them that the fence needs to have a permit, so he's working through the permit process. They was unaware of that, so working with him to get the fence properly permitted, but.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, for the record, in case CE 240072307, the respondent is not present, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondents are in violation of section 18106A and 74-4C5. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed.
Case number 6, CE 24062092, case address 3418 Greenwood Ave.
All right. Good morning again. Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I saw unpaved parking and outdoor storage at the property located at 3418 Greenwood Avenue. This property is occupied. I initiated my investigation at the property on June 10th of 2024. There, I observed the following violations: 54-262, clothes hanging in public view; 74-34-A-1-H, trash container in public view; 94-302-A-4, repair the fence; 94-442-C-1, sod the landscape; 94-442-E, sod the parkway; 94-482-A, unpaved parking; 94-71-C, outdoor storage. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on June 10th of 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on June 11th of 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on June 11th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 1st of 2024 and observed the property to not be in compliance with all of the code violations except for 54-262, Clothes hanging in public view was complied. All of the remaining code violations are still in violation. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photographs show the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully represent the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner or representative and was not made aware of a representative or property owner attending this hearing. The city is asking for 30 days to comply all code violations. If no compliance, a daily fine of $200 per day.
Thank you. I'm sorry, how many days for compliance?
30.
30 days. And the fact that they've complied with 54-262 give you belief that they've received the notices, correct, posted?
That is correct, and I believe the tenants complied with that one. This property has been an issue before, so they haven't made any attempts to comply anything, which is why recommending 30 days or a daily fine of $200 per day. Just a side note, this property is a rental property, and they are current on the rental license.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the photographs, the testimony of the code enforcement officer, and the case file be admitted into evidence.
Okay, thank you. For the record, in case CE 24062092, the respondent is not present, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in that case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-442C1, 74-34A1H, 94-442E, 94-71C, 94-482A, and 94-302A4, and I'll require respondents to comply with those sections within 30 days or a $200 a day fine will be assessed for each day the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 9, CE 24062172, case address 3910 Australian Court.
Good morning.
Code Officer Katie Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While checking a complaint in the area, I observed several violations at 3910 Australian Court. I took photos of the property, which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations: 18106A, clean and sanitary; 18106G, paint and touching up the structure, which has been complied; 22-32-A, COU, which has been complied; 22-441, rental license, which has been complied; 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, has been complied. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on July the 2nd of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 2nd of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on June the 26th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 18106A. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th of 2024 showing the remaining violation. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 10 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and case file be admitted into evidence.
Okay, thank you. And just so I'm clear, what's still outstanding on the clean and sanitary?
If you go back to that one picture right before, right at the end of my speaking, it was trash and debris out on the little square area. That's the only thing remaining. If they get that cleaned up, they will be good to go. That's why,
Oh,
hence
right
the
there.
10 days. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And they're aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay, for the record, in case CE 24062172, the respondent is not present, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of section 18106A. I'll require respondent to comply within 10 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Case number 10, CE 24041892, case address 822 38th Street.
Code Officer Weaver again with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 822 38th Street. I took photos of the property, which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 74-34-A-1SH, trash can in public view, which has been complied. 94-302-A-4, fence and wall maintenance, which has been complied. 94-445-4-I, prohibited trees, which has been complied. 94-71C, outdoor storage, which has been complied. 18-106A, clean and sanitary, which has been complied. 94-453B, maintenance of nonconforming areas has been complied. 94-446-2, landscape maintenance. 74-94C, swells and parkways, seed or sod. 18-106B, excessive growth of trees. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 2nd of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 22nd, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA and on July the 21st of 2024. Certified mail was returned, citing no access to delivery location. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 94-4462, 78-94C, and 18106B.
Okay, great, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't quite finished. The photos were uploaded. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, thank you. So there are 3 outstanding violations.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think as I counted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into evidence, barring any objections.
Is that the right case? I think that's the last case.
Which one did you have up? Because we're supposed to be on 822 38th Street.
There we go. I think it started out right, but then,
Well, at one point, it was previously cited, it was rescheduled, so I did upload newer photos to match that. So these are some of the initial. So if we can just go to the reinspection, a lot of that has been complied. there's still some trimming remaining, as well as the swell in the Parkway area. There's some cleaning up that needs to be done, as well as sodding in some areas or seeding in some areas.
So is that
There-
is that last photo where they need to clean up the landscaping more?
Yes, and here it's touching the structure, the trees in the back. They did trim some, but that area, and then there's another area if you keep going off to the right, near on the right side near the retaining wall. Keep going and we'll see it. And it's just that they need to keep going. That's still in the rear, in that area there.
Okay.
That some work needs to be done. And they did have a survey of the property line done, which that stick, and if you keep going, you'll see, I took it in front of the stick so you can see what's theirs and what's the neighbor's. But the part, that's the stick there, so everything on that side of that wall is there, so just need to do some more cutting back and cleaning up. And, in the rear of the property, there were some areas, but that's remaining.
All right, in the 7894C, there needs to be grass in the swale?
Well, in some areas, yeah, they need to.
Bare spots or
Yes,
something?
ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. If I could just see that posting affidavit. Perfect. All right, in case CE 24041892, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the city had good service for today's hearing based on the affidavit of posting. I'll find, based on the photographs and the testimony, that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106B, 944462, and 7894C. And you said compliance within how much time?
30 days,
Or what fine?
$100 a day.
Okay. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or face a $100 a day fine for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Thank you.
Case 11, case number CE 24041893, case address 818 38th Street.
Good morning again, Code Officer Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. This particular property is right next door to 822 38th Street, the same property owners for both addresses. While riding through my zone, I observed violations at 818 38th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations: 74-4-C-4, trees and hedges obstructing the right-of-way that has been complied. 94-302-A-4, fence and wall maintenance, which has been complied. 94-446-2, landscape maintenance, which has been complied. 18106G, paint structure, which has been complied. 78-94C, swells and parkways. 94-71C, outdoor storage. And 18106A, clean and sanitary, removing the trash and debris from the swell area and parkway area. The notice of violation was posted on the property on July the 22nd of 2024 in City Hall on July the 23rd of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 22nd of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on July the 25th of 2024. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 78-94C, 94-71C, and 18-106A. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case file. I have had contact with the property owner, and the city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. And the photographs truthfully and accurately depict the violations that are still outstanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the photographs, the case file, and the code enforcement officer's testimony to be admitted into evidence as to the record.
All right, so they need to put some grass in the park.
Seed inside, and then if it goes further down, they have 2 trees that are unpermitted in the swell also that needs to be removed.
Oh, that was that zoomed in photo of the 2 pots?
2 little pine trees. I think you should, I don't know where you are. You can kind of, keep going. Okay, okay. Go. Okay, stop right there. That's one of them, and then at the corner of that picture, there's another there.
Oh, that little tree there?
Yeah, it's 2 of them.
Okay.
That's in the swell that should not be in the swell. There's still few pavers and things in the front yard, and they just need to clean up the swell area, and like you said, cedar side, that's remaining for that.
And what's the outdoor storage that's remaining? Just a couple of pavers?
Yes, right there. Yes.
Oh, right there, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They're going in a good direction, though, it looks like.
Yes, oh yes, they have done some extensive work.
Yeah, okay. All right, anything further?
No, ma'am.
If I could just see the posting, perfect. All right, in case CE 24041893, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106A, 7894C, and 9471C. And I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Case number 13, CE 24062170, case address 3916 Australian Court.
Code Officer Weaver, City of West Palm Beach. While investigating this complaint, I observed several violations at 3916 Australian Court. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations. 94-442-C-1, landscape and grass needed in bare areas, which has been complied. 94-302-A-4, fence and wall maintenance has been complied. 94-446-2-B, trimming the trees on the property, which has been complied. 18-106G, paint structure, which has been complied, and 9471C and 18106A. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 2nd of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 2nd of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on June the 26th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on August the 5th and observed the property still in violation of 94-71C and 18-106A. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th of 2024 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner as well as the property manager. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting the case file, the case code enforcement officer's testimony, and the photographs be admitted into evidence as the record.
Okay, thank you. And what, on the photos, on the reinspection photos, what, the outdoor storage is the stuff under the carport still that's?
Carport and even on the side, what they did for the fence, they did take it down because they're going to get a new one, which they know they need a permit, so they have a permit. They're going through the permit process, but in the meantime, they took the old down, but on the side of the house, they still have, as well as under the carport, they still have all of this stuff.
Okay,
Yes,
so that
ma'am.
stuff. And then what's the clean and sanitary?
They need to just do some pressure washing.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
ma'am.
Okay. All right, can I see the posting affidavit? Perfect. And can I see the notice, the certified mail? She said the certified mail had been signed for. Perfect. Okay, in case CE 24062170, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll note for the record that the respondent is not present. I'll find based on the signed certified mail as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent is in violation of sections 18106A and 9471C. I'll require respondents to comply within 60 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Case number 14, CE 24072206, case address 844th Street.
Code Officer K.T. Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 844th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations: 18106A, clean and sanitary, 94-446-2-C-3, tree abuse. The notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on July the 10th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 10th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on July the 11th of 2024. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on August the 5th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of both violations mentioned earlier. Reinspection photos were taken on August the 5th of 2024 showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have not had any contact. Originally, I had no contact this morning. The property owner was here, but she got all the explanation that she needed of what needed to be done, what was remaining, and then she left. Okay. So I have had contact prior this morning. The city, and she was in agreement with the city, requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, great, thank you. Nothing further. We're requesting that the case file, the code enforcement officer's testimony, and the photographs be admitted into evidence as the record.
So is that where the tires were? Are the tires gone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes,
the tires
ma'am.
are gone, just a little bit more trash that needs to be.
Trash, and then she's going to pressure wash and just, keep that area maintained.
Okay, she got to
Because
pressure wash the sidewalk?
she's going to, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the tree
And
stump
then
is
that,
still
she's going to
there?
have that removed and stump ground down.
Okay. Okay. Moving through the network, whatever that means, on those certified mails.
All right.
If I could just see the notice of violation. Thank you. Okay, perfect. All right, in case CE 24072206, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 94-446-2C3 and 18106A. I'll require a respondent to comply within 60 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 15, CE 24052062, case address 1117 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yep, still morning. Officer Luster, West Palm Code Enforcement. Property was posted in City Hall on 7/26/2024. Certified mail was signed on 6/5/2024. The following violations. This is a commercial business, U-Gas on Palm Beach Lakes, and the following violations are installing a buffering, meaning landscaping, cleaning up one half of easement and right-of-way.
I'm sorry, Ms. Lester, could you say the number of the
Okay,
code,
sure.
please? Thank you.
No problem. 94443B3, buffering of non-residential, and 744C5, cleaning up to center and adjoining right-of-way. 10106M, landscape maintenance. 18106A, premises and sanitary cleaning. 94446-2-F-3, maintaining maintenance of irrigation. 94302A4, fence and/or wall maintenance. 94-113B, exterior lighting. 7434-A2D, commercial enclosure for dumpster. 744C3, overgrowth. All violations are still outstanding and remaining. The property owner did show up this morning, and he was running short of time, so he needed to leave. So we went into an agreement that he needed 50 more days at $300 a day if not in compliance. And I made an appointment to walk the site with him on this Friday at 12:30. And that's what I'm asking.
And that was 50 days, right? 50?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All pictures were taken by myself and verified.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
You're
Lester.
welcome.
Nothing further. Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the case file, the photographs, and the code enforcement officer's testimony be admitted into evidence as the record.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. And what was the commercial enclosure? What's that
The dumpster
violation?
enclosure,
Uh-huh.
the roll-off, the garbage container, the dumpster.
It doesn't have an enclosure, is that the problem?
It was broken.
It's broken,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, ma'am, it was broken.
Okay. And the buffering of the non-residential, did the trees just die over time, or?
Died, wasn't properly maintained, so they, walked out, people walking back and forth through them.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole perimeter is basically bare now.
Okay. And they don't have to do any kind of site plan modification or anything? They just
Yes,
have to
ma'am,
plant
they
the
do.
trees? They do have to do
They
that?
have to do it, yes.
Okay. Can they get through that process in 50 days?
I would assume so, because all they got to do is go back to the old site plan,
Okay.
the original site plan.
Okay.
They're not creating anything new, they're just gonna
So
maintain.
there's no requirement to modify anything? They can go back to the original
If they
landscaping that was
modified it,
approved?
they would have to.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anything further from the city?
No, Special Magistrate.
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 2405-2062, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 94443B3, 744C5, 18106M, 18106A, 94113B, 94446-2F3, 94302A4, 7432A2D, and 744C3. I'll require respondents to comply with those sections within 50 days, or a $300 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 16, CE 2406-2157, case address 401 North Rosemary Avenue.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Posting of property in City Hall was 7/23/2024. Certified mail was signed for on 6/20/2024. This is for a delinquent business tax for 82-144 business tax receipt, and I'm asking for the one-time $250 fine. They have no contact with owner, and it's a business tax.
Okay, and how did you, good morning again, how did you research or look online to see that they're a business operating without a business tax receipt?
No, it's a delinquent license. They already have a license with
Okay.
the city. They just did not pay their fees for this fiscal year.
Okay, and you're alerted how, I guess I would, I'm
That we were
curious.
alerted by the delinquent license list that we received from business tax.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you so much. Nothing further at this time, Special Magistrate? We're asking that the testimony be deemed credible and admitted to the record, please, as well as the case file.
Okay, thank you. Any communication with the respondent?
Not with this particular business. I did go to the location, 401 North Rosemary Avenue, and I spoke with the building manager,
Okay,
but not the actual business
operator.
person.
okay. All right, in case CE 2406-2157, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the signed certified mailing as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code officer as well as the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144, and I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $250 for failure to have a business tax receipt or renew it.
Case number 17, CE 2406-2155, case address 401 Rosemary Avenue.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted along with City Hall on 7/23/2024 for the following violation. Business tax receipt is delinquent, 82-144. I'm asking for the one-time fine of $250, and I have spoke with the building manager, the business owner emailed me this morning, and she stated that she'll be able to pay her license on the 15th of this month. So I'm still asking for the one-time fine of $250. That's all I can do. That's it.
Thank you. When was it delinquent? When did it expire?
It's been expired since last October 1.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further from the city, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the testimony and the case file be admitted into evidence as the record.
Okay, thank you. And again, was this similar to the previous case where
Yes.
they had a BTR last year and they just didn't pay
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the
They didn't
renewal?
renew it, and they are still in business at this location because that's the business building managers whom I speak to make sure that they are at that location.
Okay, very good, thank you. In case CE 2406-2155, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer, as well as the evidentiary case file, that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for delinquent business tax receipt, and I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that delinquency.
Thank you.
Case number 18, CE 2406-2154, case address 401 North Rosemary Avenue.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was cited posted, on 7/2023. Certified mail was signed on 6/22/2023. This property was cited for delinquent business tax, 82-144. I spoke to the business property manager. I have had no contact with the business owner. And I'm asking for the $250 one-time fine.
And when was it expired? You may have said that, but I don't know.
Business tax license all expire. October 1 is for renewal.
Oh,
So
okay.
September 30th, they expire. October 1, they're supposed to be reapplied for.
Got you, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the testimony and the case file be admitted into evidence as the record.
And is this a similar scenario? Did they have a BTR before with the city?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you saw evidence that the business is still operating there?
Spoke to the property manager, business building manager.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
In case CE 2406-2154, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code officer, as well as the evidentiary case file, that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for the delinquent business tax receipt. And I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that delinquency.
One-time fine, correct?
Yes, ma'am, one-time fine.
All right, thank you.
Case number 19, CE 24051996, case address 1215 North Tamarind Avenue.
Officer Lester, West Palm Code. Property was posted in City Hall on 7/2024. Certified mail was signed on 5/23/2024. Property was cited for the following violations: 94-485B-1E, paving and marking of parking spaces. 18106A, clean and sanitary. 22-32, certificate of use. And 82-144, business tax license. I'm asking for the one-time fine on the 82-144, the business tax license. I'm asking for the 22-32A, the certificate of use. I'm asking for $150 per day. And the 94-485B1E is complied. And so is the 18-106A is complied. And I have spoke with the business manager, and he asked at the time for 45 more days in regards to the other violations, that 22-32A, which is a certificate of use.
Okay. And what's our recommendation?
I'm asking for the $150 per day for the certificate of use and the one-time fee for the 82-144 license, delinquent license.
How much, $250?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
One time.
And so I think I heard your testimony that he's requesting for 45 days. Are we not recommending that? We're wanting to start the 150 as of today?
No. The 22-32A certificate of use, he can get the 45
Okay,
days.
I wasn't clear. I didn't hear. Sorry. Thank
No
you.
problem.
And those are the only two outstanding violations.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and I believe I saw some photographs, be admitted into evidence as the record.
Thank you.
Okay, in case CE 24051996, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer and the documents in the case file, that the respondent's in violation of sections 22-32A and 82-144. With regard to section 82-144, I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $250 for the delinquent business tax receipt. And for the violation of section 22-32A, I'll require respondents to comply within 45 days or face a $150 a day fine for each day the violation continues.
Thank you.
Case number 20, CE 24062165, case address 1462 8th Street.
Good morning, Officer Luster. Property was posted on 7/26/2024. Certified mail was signed on 6/27/2024, and for the following violations: overgrowth 74-C3 overgrowth, 9471C outdoor storage, 744C1 hurricane hazards, 18-103J painting of the exterior, 744C5 cleaning up one half of center to the adjoining right-of-ways, 106A clean and sanitary, and 7434-A1H trash can in public view. All violations remain outstanding, and the property owner I have had contact with the property owner, and he's requesting 90 days or $100 per day. I can say he is working on it. He has started the removing of a lot of the outdoor storage. He started to cut back the huge hedge and trees. He's removed some of the overgrowth, but not all of it. So he's replaced the fascia. Everybody know what fascia is? Fascia is the top of around the roof.
Oh,
That's called a fascia. And he's replaced that, and he's in the process of getting the house pressure cleaned and painted. So I would like to grant the 90 days or the $100 per day after. All pictures were taken by myself and are verified.
Okay, and those pictures truthfully and accurately depict the violations we're discussing that are outstanding today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We're requesting special magistrate that the case file, the photographs, and the code enforcement officer's testimony be admitted into evidence as the record.
And all the violations remain, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, in case CE 24062165, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 744C1, 18103J, 744C5, 18106A, 7434A1H, 744C3, and 9471C. I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 90 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you. I'm sorry about the phone.
Case number 21, CE 24072217, case address 251 9th Street.
Good morning, Officer Luster. Property was posted in City Hall on 7/26/2024. Certified mail was signed on 7/13/2024 for the following violations: 744C4, trimming of hedges and trees obstructing right-of-way; 744C1, hurricane hazard; 18106A, clean and sanitary; 744C5, cleaning up percentage of adjoining right-of-way, 744C3, overgrowth, and all of the violations are still outstanding, and the owner, I have had several conversations with the property owner. I'm asking for 15 more days or $50 per day, being that he is in the process of getting it complied. And the pictures were taken by myself and verified.
And 15 days, you believe, is a reasonable amount of time?
Yeah, he don't have much more to do. He got a little pressure cleaning, a little more cutting to do.
Okay. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking that the photographs, the case file, and the testimony be admitted as evidence into the record.
Okay. And the hurricane hazard is just a little bit more to trim?
Yeah, a little more trimming.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in case CE 2407-2217, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 744C4 and 744C1, and I'll require compliance within 15 days, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 22, CE 2406-2156, case address 401 North Rosemary Avenue.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. The property was posted on 7/20/2024. Certified mail was signed on 6/20/2024. This was cited for delinquent license 82-144. I'm asking for the one-time fee of $250. I confirm business at location by building property manager.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the case file and the testimony to be admitted into evidence as the record.
Okay, and what's the evidence of the business operating?
Spoke with the building property manager that the business is still located at 401 North Rosemary.
Okay, so they confirmed that for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this one that they had a BTR last year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Delinquent license. Mm-hmm.
So this is the same delinquent as of September 30th of last year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right, in case CE 2406-2156, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the certified mailing having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find respondent in violation of section 82-144 based on the evidentiary case file and the testimony of the code officer. You're asking for a one-time fine
Yes, ma'am.
of $250?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll assess a one-time fine in the amount of $250 for that delinquency.
Thank you.
Case number 23, CE 24062183, case address 1436 7th Street.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted on 7/26/2024. Certified mail was signed on 7/2/2024 for the following violations: 18106A, clean and sanitary; 94-8482-A, unpaved parking; 86-226, parking on Swell Parkway; 94-302A4, fence and wall maintenance. Fence and wall maintenance has been complied. The 86-226, parking in Swell Parkway, complied. The owner is in the process of obtaining a permit for additional driveway, which would be for the 94-482A unpaved parking, and 18106A, clean and sanitary, is still not complied. So it's 2 remaining violations. I'm asking for 60 days due to, he just applied for the permit this week, and I'm asking for the 60 days or $50 per day after. And the pictures were taken by myself and verified.
And you said you spoke with the property owner,
Yes, ma'am.
and he's agreeable to the 60 days?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe that's a reasonable amount of time, you testified?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs truthfully and accurately depict the violations we're discussing today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the photographs, the case file, and the testimony of the code enforcement officer to be admitted as evidence into the record.
Okay, and what's left on the clean and sanitary to do?
The driveway and the sidewalk needs to be pressure clean.
Okay, pressure washing, okay. All right, in case CE 24062183, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the certified mail having been signed for, as well as the affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find, based on the photographs in the case file, as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106A and 94-482A, and I'll require compliance within 60 days, or a $50 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Case number 24, CE 24062164, case address 712 4th Street.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted in City Hall on 7/25/2024. Certified mail was signed for on 6/26/2024 for the following violations: 74-4-C1, hurricane hazard; 94-487B1, prohibited vehicle, plural; 18106A, clean and sanitary; 74-4C3, overgrowth; 94-482A, unpaved parking; and 74-4-C5, cleaning up to the center of adjoining right-of-ways. The violations that are in compliance are 94-487-B1, the removal of the prohibited vehicles, and 94-482A, unpaved parking. All other violations are still outstanding. I have spoke with the property owner. He asked for 15 more days, or $100 per day. It's a vacant lot, and it is, I want to put this nicely, somewhat of a nuisance. And I did have a conversation with him on maintaining the lot in much more manageable condition from this day forward. So I'm asking for the 15 days or $100 per day after. All pictures were taken by me and verified by myself.
Thank you, Officer Lester. You had the lion's share today of the cases. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the case file, the testimony, and the photographs to be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
All right, in 15 days, you think is a reasonable time to get the rest of the,
Yeah, he's got the main problems taken care of, which was the container, the box truck, and the abandoned vehicle, all off the property. So it's a matter of him going in, cleaning up the property real good, and keeping the land mowed.
and what's the hurricane hazard? Is that,
Oh, it's large trees on there that need to be cut back,
okay.
and
he
they are
could-
abutting other properties.
Other properties?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. All right, in case CE 2406-2164, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on this signed certified mail as well as the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 18106A, 744C3, 744C1, and 744C5, and I'll require respondents to comply within 15 days or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Case number 25, CE 2406-2101, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 215.
Good morning, Don Williams, Code Enforcement. I cited Express Glass on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, code section 82-144. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the owner of the business. However, the management company Morningcom Management managed the building and submitted to me a listing of all current tenants, and Express Glass is one of those tenants. So my request is a one-time fine of $250.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate, requesting that the testimony in the case file be admitted as evidence into the record.
And you said that the property management company gave you a list of current tenants, and this company is listed as a current tenant?
That's correct, yes.
And the city doesn't have a business tax receipt issued for that company?
Not at all.
Okay, very good, thank you. In case CE 2406-2101, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for not having a business tax receipt, and I'll assess a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 26, CE 2406-2110, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 214.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Real Estate Consulting Group was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, code section 82-144. They had a previous license which expired September 30th of 21. Certified mail mailed out and regular mail mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the business owner. The management company, Morningcom Management, at that location did verify that that business is still operating at that location. So I'm asking for a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, thank you so much. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony and the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
And just so I'm clear, you said you spoke with somebody who confirmed that the business was at this location, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also said that there was a business tax receipt for this business issued by the city last year that hasn't been renewed?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 2406-2110, for the record, the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for failing to have or renew their business tax receipt. Based on that failure, I'll assess a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 27, CE 2406-2113, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 615.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Greater Talent Network was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt. Code Section 82-144. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the business owner. The management company, Morning Calm Management, provided me with a listing of current tenants, which this business is currently operating from that location. My recommendation is a one-time fine of $250.
Oh. 27, I think. And you stated you got a list from the property management,
I did.
right? With all these businesses sharing the same address for the most part.
Yes.
And they're saying that, of course, with the list, they're operating as currently operating as businesses.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the testimony to be admitted into evidence as well as the case file. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me just take a quick look at the documents. All right, thank you. For the record, in case CE 2406-2113, the respondent's not present, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code officer as well as the evidentiary case file that the respondent's in violation of Section 82-144. And I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for failure to have the BTR.
Case number 28, CE 2406-2115, case address 224 Datura Street, Suite 607.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, X Strategies was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, Code Section 82-144. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the business owner. The management company, Morning Calm Management, provided me with a listing of current tenants, which is X Strategies is one of those. So my recommendation is a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. Requesting for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony as well as the case file to be admitted as evidence into the record at this time.
Thank you. Okay. In CE 2406-2115, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter this city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on these affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code officer as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of Section 82-144 for failure to have a business tax receipt, and I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that violation.
Case number 29, CE 2406-2120, case address 205 Datura Street, Suite 405.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, Sound Point Capital was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, Code Section 82-144. Certified mail and regular mail was actually mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. This morning I did get a voicemail from the company, so they are aware of the violation, and they have actually put in a application for a business tax. So my recommendation for them is 30 days to comply or a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, great. And 30 days is a reasonable time?
Yeah, the application's in already, yes.
Okay, and they're aware of the 30 days recommendation and are in agreement?
Yes.
Thank you. Request that the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Thank you. In case CE 2406-2120, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for failure to have a business tax receipt. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or a one-time fine of $250 will be assessed.
Case number 30, CE 2406-2098, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 917.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Concord Group Holding LLC was cited June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, Code Section 82-144. No contact with the business owners. Certified mail and regular mail mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. This business did appear on that same list from Morning Calm Management as a current tenant at that location. My recommendation is one-time fine of $250.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file to be admitted into evidence as the record.
Thank you. In case CE 2406-2098, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer and the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for failure to have a business tax receipt. And I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that violation.
Case number 31, case number 32, CE 2406-2106, case address 224 Deter Street.
That one is, Stone Point Capital is complied.
Oh, 31 is complied?
Yes.
Okay. And I think you just read 32 in, right?
Yeah, so 31 was complied or 32 was complied? 205 Deter Street or 224 Deter Street is complied?
205 this Tourist Street.
Is complied, okay.
Yes. Number 400.
Okay, so then we're on, okay, so case number 32, CE 2406-2106, case address 224 Deter Street.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. JMDM Contractors LLC was cited June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, Code Section 82-144. Certified mail and regular mail mailed on June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the owners of the business, but Morning Calm Management verified that this business is operating out of that location from the list that it was submitted to me. And I'm asking for a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you. Requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony and the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Thank you. In case CE 2406-2106, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144. And for that violation, I'll assess a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 33, CE 2406-2108, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 1309.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. MIG 218 LLC was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, Code Section 82-144. Certified mail, regular mail sent out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. The owner of the business, Mike Mellons, did show up today. He was here earlier, so he's aware of the violation. I told him I was granting him additional 30 days to comply. He already submitted the application, so my recommendation, 30 days or a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, great, thank you. requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Thank you. Can I see that posting affidavit? I think I missed it. Perfect, thank you. All right, in case CE 2406-2108, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144. I'll require respondent to comply with that section within 30 days or assess a one-time fine of $250.
Case number 34, CE 2406-2114, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 212.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. University of Medicine and Health Services was cited on June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, code section 82-144. Certified mail, regular mail, mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the property owner. However, the management company, Morning Calm Management, provided me a listing of current tenants, and University of Medicine and Health is the current tenant at that location. So my recommendation is a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you. Requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony as well as the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Okay, thank you. In case CE 2406-2114, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file as well as the testimony of the code enforcement officer that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144 for failure to obtain a business tax receipt. I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that violation.
Case number 35, CE 2406-2103, case address 224 Deter Street, Suite 1110.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Econo Health LLC was cited June 11th of 24 for a business tax receipt, code section 82-144. Certified mail, regular mail, mailed out June 11th of 24. City Hall and the property posted July 30th of 24. No contact with the owner of the business. However, Morning Calm Management Company provided me a listing of current tenants, which the health office is still active and at that location, still active. So my recommendation is a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, thank you. You also had a lion's share today. Thank you. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony be admitted into evidence as well as the case file into the record, please.
Thank you. In case CE 2406-2103, for the record, the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as the evidentiary case file that the respondent's in violation of section 82-144, and I'll assess a one-time fine of $250 for that violation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that concludes the regular matters.
All right, reconvene at 11:30, correct? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
WPB-TV, 30 seconds.
All right, good morning. I'm going to call to order the other matters session of the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement hearing. It's August 7th. It is 11:35. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the special magistrate for this portion of the hearing. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to testify on any items that are on today's agenda. So if you're here to speak on any item, if you could stand and raise your right hands for me, I'll swear in city staff at the same time. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. A little bit about process. These appear to be all fine reduction hearings. So when you hear your case called, come to the podium here to my right. City staff is already present at the podium to my left. The city will give me a few remarks. And then this is the portion of the agenda where it's your responsibility to prove to me why the fine should be reduced. So after the city gives me the preliminary information, you'll then get an opportunity to say what you'd like to say to me, present any evidence that you have. And then at the end of that, I'll make a final ruling, which you'll get an order that reflects that either as you leave the room here today or in the mail. With that, remember, all of your testimony is given under oath. So with that said, I'll turn it to the city for its first case.
Okay, we have a couple cases for the same address, starting off with case number 36, CE 1106518. Case number 37, CE 20070338. Case number 38, CE 07120094. Case number 39, CE 05090231. Case number 40, CE 22100030. And case number 42, CE 2009090. Case number 45, CE 07020494. And case number 46, CE 07080144. All cases are for case address 639 38th Street.
Magistrate, before we proceed, would you like to hear each one individually and the amounts, and then we can proceed after?
Yeah, go ahead and read everything in, so I'll write it all down and then hear
ma'am.
from the respondents.
For sure.
And since there are so many, I
Okay.
think that's helpful in this case.
Okay. All right, so for agenda item number 36, case number CE 110600518. This case was originally cited February 26, 2021. They were cited for cleaning sanitary conditions at the property, repair needed of the fence, and cleaning up of the alleyway. This went to magistrate hearing October 5th, 2011, and it was ordered for the fine to start as of November 8th, 2011. This ran for 3,398 days at $50 a day, for a total of $169,900, and was complied February 26, 2021. All of these violations were incurred under the previous owner. This is the representative for the current owner here today. Excuse me. Magistrate, we do have an agreement beforehand to reduce the fine to $16,990 and payable within 60 days. For agenda item number 37, case number CE 200703338. This case was originally cited February 26, 2021 for the vacant property needing to be registered with the city. This went to a special magistrate hearing August 19th of 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of August 31st, 2020. It ran for 179 days at $25 a day, for a total of $4,475, and was complied February 26, 2021. Again, this was under the previous owner. We do have an agreement, magistrate, to reduce this fine beforehand to $1,000 payable within 60 days. For agenda item number 38, case number CE 071200094. This case was originally cited February 26, 2021. They were cited for an installation of windows and doors that needed to be permitted. They didn't have the permit at the time. It was reg tagged on December 4th, 2007. This went to a special magistrate hearing February 15th, 2008. It was originally, it was ordered for the fine to start as of May 16th, 2008. And it ran for 4,669 days at $100 a day for a total of $466,900 and was complied February 26, 2021. We have an agreement, magistrate, beforehand to reduce this fine to $15,000 payable within 60 days. For agenda item number 39, CE 050902331. This case was originally cited September 8th, 2005. They were cited for a permit needed for improvements that were done on the property. Reg tag was issued September 6, 2005. This went to a special magistrate hearing February 1st of 2006. It was ordered for the fine to start as of February 14th, 2006. It ran for 5,491 days at $100 a day for a total of $549,100 and was complied February 26th of 2021. Again, all of these were done under the previous owner. And we have an agreement, magistrate, to reduce this fine to $10,000 payable within 60 days. Excuse me. For agenda item number 40, case number CE 22100030. This case was originally cited in October of 2022. They were cited for the gravel in the driveway that needed to be changed to a non-dusting surface, alleyway maintenance and overgrowth also in the alleyway. This went to a special magistrate hearing December 7th, 2022. There was a bifurcated order on this particular case. For the first fine, it was ordered for the fine to start as of December 13th, 2022 for 74-4-C-3. This ran for 350 days at $50 a day for a total of $17,500. It was complied on November 28th, 2023. For violation 94485E, it was ordered for that fine to start as of March 8th, 2023. That ran for 265 days at $100 a day for a total of $26,500, and that was complied November 28th, 2023. So for a total of $44,000 in fines. We have an agreement to reduce this to $2,500 payable within 60 days. For agenda item number 42, case number CE 200900090. This case was originally cited September 9th, 2020. They were cited for a fence installed without a permit and the inspection that was needed in order to pass that permit. This went to a special magistrate hearing October 21st, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of November 23rd, 2020. That ran for 95 days at $100 a day for a total of $9,500 and was complied February 26th, 2021. We do have an agreement beforehand, magistrate, to reduce this fine to $1,000 payable within 60 days as well. For agenda item number 45, case number CE 070-20494. This case was originally cited in February 15th of 2007. They were cited for inspection failed due to trees as well as the hedges are overgrown and obstructing the right-of-way. The exterior of the premises needing paint and maintenance done to the landscaping as well as a boat or RV that was parked at the property. This went to a special magistrate hearing May 4th, 2007. It was ordered for the fine to start June 19th of 2007. That ran for 5,001 days at $200 a day for a total of $1,200,000. That was complied February 26, 2021. We have an agreement, Magistrate, beforehand to reduce this fine to $25,000 payable within 60 days. And for the final one, agenda item number 46, case number CE 070-80144. Give me 1 second. Let me just double check something. Okay. All right. So this case was originally cited August 3rd, 2007. They were cited for inspection failed due to violations of inoperable vehicles, the grass being excessive in height or overgrown, rotten wood needing to be replaced on the structure, the roof as well needed to be replaced, the exterior walls of the foundation also needing to be replaced or improved upon, unpaved areas that needed to be sodded, as well as address characters that needed to be placed on the home. This went to a special magistrate hearing October 12th of 2007. This order as well was bifurcated. The first fine that was cited, 18103B, that was originally ordered for the fine to start as of January 11th, 2008. That ran for 4,795 days at $250 a day, for a total of $1,198,750. That was complied February 26th of 2021. The second violation that incurred a fine was 34-102-A. That was originally cited to start November 12th, 2007. That ran for 15 days at $150 a day, for a total of $2,250. And that was complied November 27th, 2007. So the total fines for this one was $1,201,000. We've agreed beforehand, Magistrate, to reduce this fine to $25,000 payable within 60 days as well.
Thanks for reading all those. That was a mouthful,
ma'am.
but thank you. That'll make it a little easier since you all are in agreement on all these. So I figured read them all in and we'll go through them pretty quick. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Morning. Mac Ross, attorney for the applicant.
Okay, your counsel for the new owner?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so you've heard all of that he indicated. What I'm going to do is just go one by one and ask you if there's anything else you'd like me to hear and if you're in agreement with the numbers that he just stated,
Sure.
okay?
Yep.
So the first case is item 36 on the agenda at CE 110-60518. The code officer indicates to me that you're in agreement to pay $16,990 within 60 days, reduced from $169,900. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, anything else you'd like me to hear on that case?
No, I think, well, I would just lend some credence to the fact that a lot of these were violations prior to my client's ownership. So, but that's basically it.
Okay. And you bought, I presume your client knew that there were all these liens when they bought the
Yeah, I
property?
don't have a great explanation. I wasn't his representative when he purchased. I think he purchased this with the idea of renovating it and maybe was ignorant of the fact of the amount of the liens that had accrued. And that's why he came to me at this time. The only lien that really happened under his watch was that gravel driveway. But
Okay.
yeah, that's...
And your client understands that if those amounts aren't paid within this 60-day timeframe, that the liens revert back to the original amount?
Correct.
Okay.
I've explained it to him.
All right, anything further, sir?
Nope.
All right. In case CE 110-60518, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $169,900 down to $16,990 payable within 60 days. Item number 37, CE 200703338. The fine amount currently is $4,475. The city's code officer indicates that you've agreed to $1,000 payable within 60 days. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Anything particular you'd like me to hear on this case?
Nothing, nope.
Okay. If there's mutual agreement, you can tell me what you want, but if you don't have anything, that's totally fine too. Anything else from the city on that one?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 200703338, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $4,475 down to $1,000 payable within 60 days. In case 38 CE 07120094, the code enforcement officer indicates that there's agreement to reduce the fine from $466,900 down to $15,000 payable within 60 days. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay, anything specific you'd like me to hear on this case?
No, ma'am.
All right. In case CE 07120094, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $466,900 down to $15,000 payable within 60 days. 39, case CE 05090231, the code enforcement officer indicates that there's agreement to reduce the fine amount from the current $549,100 down to $10,000 payable within 60 days. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
All right, anything specific you'd like me to hear on this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay, in case CE 05090231, I'll reduce the fine amount from $549,100 down to $10,000 payable within 60 days. In item number 40, CE 2210030, the code enforcement officer indicates that there's agreement to reduce the fine amount from $44,000 down to $2,500 payable within 60 days. Are you in agreement with that, sir?
Yes.
Anything further you'd like me to hear on that case?
No, ma'am.
All right, in case CE 2210030, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $44,000 down to $2,500 payable within 60 days. Agenda item 42, case CE 2009090, the code enforcement officer indicates that you've agreed to, or there's mutual agreement to reduce the fine from $9,500 down to $1,000 payable within 60 days. Are you in agreement with that, sir?
Yes.
Anything specific on this case?
Nope.
All right, in case CE 2009090, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $9,500 down to $1,000 payable within 60 days. Now to the big one. So item 45, agenda item 45, case CE 07020494. Code enforcement officer indicates that there's agreement to reduce the $1,200,000 fine down to $25,000 payable within 60 days. Is that correct, sir?
Correct, yeah.
You're in agreement with that?
Yes.
All right,
Well,
anything? Go ahead.
Well, these were the big ones, right? So, and we did have a negotiation outside. But if the magistrate can grant any other leniency on these two large ones that were accrued prior to my client's ownership, it would be greatly appreciated.
So I certainly hear that. The difficulty, the good news and the bad news. So the bad news is that he had to rattle off, what is it, 7 total cases? 8 total cases on this. So there was certainly a pattern of failure to comply with the city's code by the previous owner. Having said that it's the previous owner, these reductions are significant reductions. And I think,
Absolutely.
My task before you today is to reduce the fines based on efforts to get into compliance. That appears to have been done, I think, by the prior owner. Is that right? Did your owner comply all these out?
No, our owner did.
Okay, so that's what the timing I thought was before your ownership, your client's ownership. But certainly $25,000 as it relates to over $1 million fine is a significant reduction. So I'm going to keep it at that number, given the fact that, again, the thing I always have to balance is maintaining the validity of the city's code enforcement process, but also understanding that the residents who live around this property had to deal with this for, I think, going all the way back to 2005 was one of the, or 6 or 7, but for almost 20 years we're having to deal with that, the residents next door. So in case CE 07020494, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $1,200,000 down to $25,000 payable within 60 days. And the last case, 46, which is CE 07080144, the code enforcement officer indicates that there's agreement between the parties to reduce the fine from the current $1,201,000 down to $25,000 payable again within 60 days. Are you in agreement with that number, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything further you'd like me to hear on that one?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, in case CE 07080144, I'll reduce the previous fine amount from $1,201,000 down to $25,000 payable within 60 days. And that takes a significant fine amount amongst 8 cases down to a manageable number. So I hope that helps with your client's efforts to do whatever they're trying to do with the property.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do I wait here? Yeah.
Okay, case number 41, CE 22010398, case address 3700 Australian Court is rescheduled. Case number 43, CE 22060312, case address 3805 Paseo Andalusa.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For agenda item 43, case number CE 220-60312. This case was originally cited June 24th of 2022. They were cited for windows and doors that were installed, as well as some interior renovations that were done without a permit. This went to a special magistrate hearing October 5th, 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of November 6th, 2022. It ran for 474 days at $100 a day, for a total of $47,400, and was complied February 23rd, 2024. This was done under the current owner, only one case under their ownership, and this is their representative, their counsel here before us today. We've agreed to, beforehand, magistrate, to reduce the fine to $2,370 payable within 60 days.
2370.
2370, yes, ma'am.
You're a good negotiator, sir.
Well, it was, some thumb wrestling was involved.
What's your name for the record?
Guy Quattlebaum.
Thank you, sir. All right, so you've heard what the city's code enforcement staff has indicated. He's indicated to me that there's mutual agreement to reduce the fine amount from $47,400 down to $2,370 payable within 60 days. You're in agreement with that?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like me to hear?
I do not.
Easy enough. In case CE 2206-0312, I will reduce the previous fine amount from $47,400 down to $2,370 payable within 60 days. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks, Mark.
Case number 44, CE 22080171, case address is 512 49th Street.
They did not show up, magistrate, so we would have to reschedule them.
Okay, thank you. And that appears to conclude the agenda. All right, I'll adjourn this hearing at 11:57.